Hey, I'm Jay Kumar, the Bass Blaster, and this is your Seafoam Top 5 of the Week in Bass Fishing. Number 1. Minn Kota blew it up. So what would you do if you built the OG trolling motor and then over time ended up making one of the best and most bulletproof trolling motors ever? Well, if you're Minn Kota, aka the crazy peeps up north, you trash the whole thing and start from scratch. They're still gonna make all levels of motors, but I'm talking about the new Quest series of trolling motors, which seem to be all that and a bag of chips and maybe some buffalo wing dipping sauce on the side. The one and only Kevin Van Dam has been running one for about a year, and here's a little bit of what he says about it.
It's, super quiet. It's super powerful. It's got 50% more torque. And the biggest thing that they really focused in on this that's really important to me is the mount itself. So, I fish a lot in the Great Lakes. This mount is rock solid. The biggest thing that I noticed right out of the gate, though, is the extra efficiency that this brushless motor has. It's got a battery management system. You can, pull it up on your graphs and see exactly where you're at. But after using it now, and I've been fishing on the Great Lakes, Saginaw Bay, Lake St. Clair with it, in really rough conditions and running it hard, it is night and day more efficient than the original Ultrex. And I love that motor there, but this right here is taking it to a whole nother level.
Longer run time, better battery life, quieter, more powerful, better lift assist, a new drift mode where you can create or manage a drift, better GPS, better remote, better. There's no way to say it all in this brief video, but I got a chance to put my foot on one a couple times, a little sneak peek a few weeks ago, and I loved it. But don't take my word for it. Here's Chris Zaldane's first time on the water with one.
Mind you, I'm a run and gun type guy, so I'm constantly throwing. Look at that indexing right there. That was absolutely amazing. Oh, dude, don't fly out of the boat. This is amazing. Oh, I'm dead serious. That thing is quick.
Man, new bass and stuff is fun. Only thing is it me or does the head of that new trolling motor strongly resemble a battle droid?
Look, it's RB551. No wonder he got blasted. He's one of those older models programmed by a central computer.
And if so, does that mean that Minn Kota is... Nah, never mind. Number 2. MaxScent won again. As we're shooting this, Jordan Lee just won the Major League Fishing St. Clair Bass Pro Tour event, which of course is a smallmouth event. And in smallmouth country, Berkley Powerbait MaxScent, anything in a purple package is basically like crack cocaine for the brown fish. I'll get into Jordan's baits a little more next week after I get a chance to talk to him, but it sounds like the MaxScent Flat-Nosed Jerk Shad and the MaxScent Lil General did the deal. And the MaxScent Flatworm recently was one of the winning baits at the recent Lake Champlain Toyota Series event. Now, if you're wondering what MaxScent is, here's Berkley's Mark Sexton saying just about all he or anyone else there will ever say about MaxScent.
What MaxScent does that Powerbait does not, or any other plastic bait, is it oozes scent into the water a lot faster. Because then it creates a scent field. The fish may swim by, not see it, catch that scent field, start hunting for it, and then he finds it and he eats it and it's done. Right?
It's for sure a top secret deal, man, but I did ask Mark one time where they got that MaxScent name from, and he sent me this.
Max Power.
Alright, call the new improved MaxScent Max Power Scent maybe, and make it in chartreuse. Number 3. Should we be using more transparent baits? Stuff like this Great Lakes Finesse Snack Craw or a Rapala Husky Jerk or a clear Zara Spook or other clear or invisible or whatever baits? Sounds like the answer may be yes for a few reasons. According to a recent In-Fisherman post, Rapala's Dan Quinn said one good reason for it is, of course, clear water. Meaning, yes, going finesse is one option in clear water, but this might be another type of not often used finesse. Clear baits. And it's a similar deal for high pressured water. Now, Dr. Keith Jones from Berkley says in that deal that transparent doesn't mean invisible, that fish will still see it. And he also says that if you test colors using forward-facing sonar, sometimes transparent wins. Now, for another take on this whole thing, check out what these art peeps have to say.
The idea of clear is it's not a color, it's a coating, and it's kind of a popping a pop. Like your eye will automatically be drawn to it.
There you go, put another color or pop in your boat. Number 4.
So I'm taking the Kaiser blade. Some folks called it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade.
Okay, man, but in bassin we call it a sickle, or in this case, a sickle hook. Now, crappie sickle hook jig heads have been around for a while, not widely used, but been around, but there haven't been many in our bassin world. The best known one has to be the Yum FF Sonar jig head that Jason Christie used to win the 2022 Bassmaster Classic with, along with the companion FF Sonar Minnow. Why did he choose that type of hook? Well, Jewel Baits just came out with 2 higher-end HD Pee-wee jigs, and both use a sickle hook. Here's Jewel Headman and for real jig genius Gail Julian talking about why.
The reason we did this hook is so that we could have a jig kind of based off the Pee-wee series that is really compact. But this one has a wider gap.
So I guess it boils down to a bigger hook gap with a shorter hook, and that hook shape keeping the fish pinned. Yum said Jason specified that hook after trying several because 90+% of the fish he hooked were pinned in the roof of the mouth. And Gail said the sickle hook has some properties of the O'Shaughnessy hook, which is one of the best shapes ever. So will we be seeing and fishing more sickle hooks? Well, maybe one day a jig or a jig head without a sickle hook will be like,
It ain't got no gas in it.
it ain't got gas in it, man. Number 5. Where is the next world record bass gonna come from? Well, you might think Texas, lakes like O.H. Ivy or Fork or Falcon, or maybe somewhere, pretty much anywhere in Florida. Or maybe it'll be a California trout eater. Or maybe it'll be another one from Lake Biwa in Japan or another amazing lake out there. Did you know that all those fish in all those places have something in common? I'll get back to that in a sec. First, check this question sent into the Big Bass Podcast.
Connor's got an interesting question. I've talked to divers in Florida saying there are potential world record bass living in the brackish intracoastal marinas. Interesting thought since no one thinks to look in the saltwater for bass.
Largemouth can live in brackish water. They don't become reproductive.
So in Florida, well, all those huge bass caught in all those places all have some variation of Florida genetics. And when biologist Stephen Barton said in that deal that they don't become reproductive, my first thought was, so they don't spend all that energy months on spawning? Ever? Heck yeah, they could be world record giants over there. I think I know where I need to move. That's all I got for you this week. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Seafoam. Go to BassBlaster.com or .rocks to sign up for the Get All the Juice email. See you next week. God bless you.